William. You shake my hand, William. Nice to meet you. Come on up here, William. William's going to help me demonstrate what it's like to come back to Earth, okay? Can I let you stand up here so we can talk to her? So, I'm just going to talk loud. So, William's body's designed for gravity, right? Right now his heart, which is right in here, is pumping really hard to lift the blood all the way up to his head. And it's pumping constantly. And it's not just his heart. He's got a whole system inside his body that is like squeezing a balloon that is bringing the blood up to the top of his head. Because he's got his eyeballs and his brain up here where we need him, where we can see danger in the distance. And in order to hold William's head up, he has this really complicated skeleton inside because we want to have our eyeballs as high as possible so we can see danger in the distance. And turn your head, William. So think about the complex structure that's inside William's body, and then he's got the muscles in order to move it so that he can be strong and run away when a wildebeest is coming or something. And what's really cool, he can balance. Like he's balancing up here with no trouble at all. And just close your eyes and open them again. When he closes his eyes, he doesn't fall over. So even though we use vision to balance, that's not the main system. In fact, I'm going to get you to close your eyes and I'm just going to push you a little. Okay. Look at that. Even though William has his eyes closed, he can handle a perturbation like that and still balance just fine. And you're, what are you, 7? 6. You're 5. Wow, he's only 5. And he's got this beautifully honed system that does, and he just eats, Cheerios and stuff. And it turns, and peanut butter sandwiches, and it turns it into this incredible structure that is beautifully designed for gravity. But the second he gets into weightlessness and he's floating around, all of that changes because now his heart doesn't need to lift the blood up to his head anymore. His heart can be incredibly lazy. And in fact, after 6 months in space, William's heart would shrink considerably because it didn't have to work all the time. All these muscles that are making him balance and lift and turn and squat and run, you don't use any of them. In 6 months in space, William would never once have to hold his head up. So think his neck, what goes on with those muscles? He wouldn't have to lift a finger for 6 months. So you start to lose all the muscles. And the balance system, that even when he closes his eyes, that is working so hard to tell him which way is up right now, as soon as you take gravity away, that system, it has no more information, so it's gone. So the day William gets back from space, he's a vegetable. I mean, his skeleton is weak, his muscles are weak, his balance system is shot, and his blood pressure regulation system is gone. And his immune system's depressed, and a bunch of other more subtle things. Huge changes. So when he gets back, your body's so confused. If he stands up, he faints. If he tries to walk with his eyes closed, he just falls over constantly. And he feels like he's just got off a ride that was spinning. So he's dizzy, dizzy, dizzy. And so if your body, good job. So if your body says, what just happened? Suddenly, the whole world is spinning, and there's a huge change in how I feel. Your body thinks you must have eaten something that is like a neurotoxin or a poison, right? Because what else could have instantaneously changed you so quickly? And so how does your body defend you? It says, throw up right now, because whatever you just ate, it's killing you. And so right after William got back, we practiced this earlier. Right after William got back, he'd be throwing up. And then the other thing, your body wants you to do, you can lie down. No, just for a second, it's for part of the demonstration. Will you do it? No? Okay, just later. All right, he's choosing his moment. And the other thing your body wants you to do is lie down. Because it wants you to stop metabolizing, it wants you to stop metabolizing whatever that poison was. So as soon as you get back from space, you feel weak, you feel sick, you throw up, and your body makes you want to go to sleep. And it takes, okay, you got it. And it takes about 3 or 4 days before you can balance and walk normally again. There, if that get better. And it takes about 4 months before you can run again, because your body just can't keep up with the cardiovascular and accelerating load of gravity. And it takes about 1.5 years to grow your skeleton back. But the osteoporosis you get in space that I lost 8% of my hips to reversed. And I've got most of the bone back now over the last 18 months since I got home. So the doctors are really interested in all of those things. How do we regulate blood pressure? How do we regulate balance? How do we regulate bone density and muscle strength? And they all happen autonomously, which is really, or autonomically, which is real interesting to see. But now I've been back 18 months, and I'm just about as strong as William. While I was on the space station, I played guitar every day and wrote a bunch of music up there, which I now perform with symphonies and things. And I did that thing, that David Bowie cover, and I had our crew patch. Our crew patch we made in the shape of a guitar pick, just because it was fun. And I have one of those guitar picks with me. And for being such a good volunteer today, William, I'm giving you this one.